What's up guys, it's Dan Man, bringing another big video for Draconia Saga. This time I'm going over all of the Drakites and how you place them. So as you can see, I've taken out all of my Drakites and I've reset all of their levels. So we're going to start from scratch, fill my wheels, and I'm going to teach you how you can fill your wheels and what you should be looking for. I know this can get a little complex, but I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible. I'm going to assume that you know nothing about Drakites or where they go. This will be for free to play, low spenders, or whales. This video is also primarily going to focus on PvE. I plan to put out a separate video later on for PvP. So here we go. The first thing I want to teach you is that the first page and the fourth page are the most important. When you click on the center here, it'll show you that your resonance is based on stats. You need to plug in the colors that you see on the wheel. The first page and the fourth page give you the most stats, and they focus primarily on P attack and M attack. So starting with the first page, I'm going to look for 2 blue. We click on the blue tab and you start at the top because those are your highest rank. Now what we're looking for first is you scroll down and you look at these stats. Specifically for URs, you want to focus on the stats that are level 1 through 6. Between stats level 12 through 18, you're looking primarily for PvE stats such as crit, rate, chance, crit multiplier, PvE enmity, or P attack, M attack. In the lower stats, you're looking for P attack, M attack, crit rate, int to strength, strength to int, flat strength. These are the stats you're looking for. So as you can see, my Tisha did not really roll that great. So for now, I'm going to skip her. Next up for my Dino rolled fantastic. So I'm definitely throwing her in. Now, as far as leveling her up, the way you do it is you look at the stats that you need. Everything on her is good up until the last slot. Pogly resistance is for PvP. So I want to activate at level 15 the M attack. Perfect. Next, looking at the bottom stats, for SSRs, the last skill, level 12, is the most important factor. All class resistance, that's PvP. So I can skip this one. Critical multiplier bonus. Now this one's good. It's got some M attack, some other basic flat aptitude stats. So after you've cleared the bottom, then you go look at the top. Now this is how you know if you have a good Drakite. The main stat that you're looking for is P attack, M attack in the basic attributes. If you don't see that, move on to the next one. Looking at the bottom here, all class resistance, that's a PvP stat. We're moving on to the next. All class resistance, PvP stat. Perfect. Critical multiplier bonus. The rest of the stats are looking like aptitude. And up top, we have P attack, M attack. Perfect. We're going to socket this one. Now that's your 2 blues. Now you look for your 3 red. Click the red tab. Starting with my URs, I have M attack in the early. That's good. And int. But scrolling up to the top, I have vit and strength. That's not so good. So I'll go to the next. Looking at the bottom, not that great. On to the next one. We have critical rate bonus. And moving up to the top, we have the magic attack. This one's good. Let's socket it. Next one, scrolling down to the bottom, critical rate bonus. Scrolling up to the top though, we have crit. Moving on to the next one, critical multiplier bonus. Moving up to the top, no M attack. On to the next one, all the way down, all class enmity. That's for PvP. On to the next. A flat stat on an SSR at the bottom is bad. My next one was bad. My next one was bad. And so on and so forth. Now we've gone through all my SSR that are red. So let's go back up to the top. Now we have to be a little bit more flexible. So we take a second look. The bottom stats here are good. I do have the M attack and the int. But now we look collectively at all of the stats here. We have vit, strength, resilience. It's not enough to make a good Drakite. So we go to the next one. The bottom stats are bad. So we go to the next. Critical rate bonus. Now this one has a lot of crit and resilient. That critical rate bonus is huge. So we are going to socket this one. Now we need one more red. Critical multiplier bonus. Now this one has vit, strength, and crit. It's not the best, but it's not terrible. You still do gain passive stats from the aptitude stats. So this Drakite is a maybe. Let's keep looking. All class enmity, PvP, we know we're gonna skip this. But then we're back to the Drakites that have no good last stat. So we're gonna use the one that we said maybe to, Armarilla. It has the critical multiplier bonus and it has enough flat stats that it's okay. Now just to go back and level these up, starting with the Shrieker, we look at the bottom stats and we know that we want that critical multiplier bonus. So we're gonna max this out. The next one, Lavapard, critical rate bonus. We are gonna max this out. Next up, Armarilla Crystal, critical multiplier bonus. we're gonna max this out. And last, critical rate bonus, we're maxing it out. There we go. Now, like I said, this first page is important. These are your strongest. You wanna max these out. Even if it leaves you short leveling things up later on, you know that you've secured your strongest. So let's move on to page 4. Now we have yellow and blue. We just used blue, so we kind of know what we have. Let's go finish the blue. Go to the blue tab, starting with the first one. You are, so I'm looking at the first few stats. Nothing great. Let's move on. Going to the next one. All class resistance, PvP. There we go. Critical multiplier bonus. Scrolling up to the top though, we have crit and resilience. So we're gonna go to the next. Going all the way down. All class resistance. That's PvP. Next one. All class resistance. All class resistance. All class resistance. And nothing. 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 And so on and so forth. So we're gonna go back to that one Drakite that had critical multiplier bonus. And even though its other stats were mediocre, we're gonna plug it in and we're gonna rank it up as high as we can. Perfect. Now we already know that the rest of our blue Drakite don't have a level 12 stat primary for PvE. So now we have to take into account all of the other stats. Taking a look at my UR, having M attack in your basic attribute is huge because as you level this up, it'll scale and get higher and higher. The bond level always stays the same, but see how you can unlock it to gain more stats. For this one, for example, I have int, and I'm close to unlocking even more int. Now looking down at the bottom, it doesn't offer anything too great, but it does give flat stats. So because this one overall is pretty decent, we're gonna plug this one in. So let's keep going. We do see crit, we do see int, and that's about to level up again. And then looking down at the bottom stats, even though they are mostly defensive, we do see strength, so this is a safe one to plug in. Next up, we have int, resilience, defense, HP defense, vit, resilient. This one's a little bit too defensive for me, so I'm gonna move on. Defense, HP, defense. Now in the bottom, we do get some M attack here. So Terra Highness just became a maybe. Now this guy, Mudran, has int, a nice chunk of M attack and crit down the bottom with some int. This is a great choice here, so we're gonna socket him. Now we have 2 more yellow to look for. So you click the yellow tab, taking a look at our UR, and again, looking at the bottom first, we have P attack and int, looking good. Scrolling up, she has vit and strength. Next up, we look at the SSRs. We scroll all the way to the bottom. PvE resistance, this is good. PvE skill. Scroll up to the top, we have int, no M attack. However, we do have M attack here in the middle, and with int being a primary stat, it's enough damage for me to be able to equip that PvE resistance. That's a socket. Next up, critical rate bonus. But looking at those other stats, vit, strength. This one is a pass. Next, critical rate bonus and magic attack. Perfect. Socket. Now we finish that page. Now let's level them up. Now we know for Tisha, realistically, you want to get that magic attack. It's a UR. And I know personally I don't have enough to rank her up all the way. So we're just going to stop at level 6. Up to level 6 for all Drakites doesn't require the extra stones. So minimum, all Drakites should be at least level 6. That's a good goal to shoot for if you're just starting out. So next up on this one over here. Now he doesn't have any high attack type stats. So we're going to get him to level 6 and leave him there. Next up, PvE resistance. So we want to max this guy out. Awesome. Next, critical rate bonus. We want to max this guy out. Perfect. Now Mudran doesn't have much to go for, but at level 9, you do get that int. So we're going to get him to level 9. Nice. You've now successfully completed your first and your 4th page. So now let's move on to the second page. Second page, we have yellow and green. Since we've already done some yellows, let's do yellow again. Now I mostly remember all of my stats, but if you need to keep going through your heroes, just keep going through them. Double check them. Click. Scroll all the way down, check their stats. You'll eventually get comfortable enough to compare and know what you're working with. For example, I already know that I had another Charadriel, so I have more PvE resistance. This one's going in, and he's getting ranked up as high as I can get him. Nice. I also have another Armarilla. That's critical rate bonus. That one's going in, and he's getting ranked up as high as I can get him. Unfortunately, I'm only going to be able to get him to level 9, but that's fine, because now I know that's something to work towards. Now I need one more yellow, and I already know that all of the SSR don't have a PvE damaging stat for level 12. So I'm going to look through all of their stats again and compare, find the best one to fill that last yellow slot. Terra Highness with PvE resistance. He's going in. Now I already know I can't max him out, so I'm going to just get him to level 6. And again, now I know I have another one to work toward. Now we're moving on to green. If you notice, even though I have a UR, she's still not one of my best. But we haven't looked at any of the greens yet. So let's check out all the level 12 stats for the SSR. First one, right off the bat. critical multiplier bonus, top stat, int, and major int on the inside. This one's pretty good. M attack and int go hand in hand, and that critical multiplier bonus really is the prize. Additionally, and this is not a main factor, it's a very, very small factor, so don't get confused by this. Your second page, resonance, scales off of int and strength. So at this point, instead of straight looking for M attack, if you do find int or strength, depending on your class, it's just as good. So we're gonna socket her right away. And again, we know we can't rank her all the way up, but we're gonna get her to level 6. 2 more green slots to go. Next up with Cornix, all class resistance is PvP. Next, all class enmity is PvP. Next, critical rate bonus. There we go. With int up top. That's a keeper. Socket and level 6. Leucemia with the critical multiplier bonus. And M attack up top. We're keeping it. Socket and level 6. Now your second page is done. Now we're on to the last page, page 3. Red and green. We've already used these colors before. We have another Leucemia for the greens. Critical multiplier bonus with the M attack up top. This one's going in. And for the greens, that's the last PvE stat that I have for level 12s. So now again, we look through all the stats and we compare and we find the best one. We actually need 2 to fill this wheel. So Cornix has M attack up top and it has some P attack and M attack down bottom. So it's something to shoot for. This one's good. We're going to plug him in. Pale Scale. This one's got the M attack up top. Tons of crit. And M attack and crit damage down bottom with some int. This one's solid. Let's use him. Greens are complete. On to the red. None of my SSRs have a PvE stat for level 12. So we go through all the top stats. Striker. It's got the M attack up top, tons of Vit, with P attack, M attack on bottom, and a little bit of int. We're gonna use him. Kangler has the M attack up top, good amount of crit, more crit down bottom, and M attack down bottom. We'll throw her in there. Now, after checking out the top DRAKITES that I have left, my UR is definitely the best. It's not great, but I know up to level 6, I'll be able to grab that int and that magic attack, and these extra flat stats, they do passively add up. Let's level these all up to level 6. Now, we've got them all placed, but you got some extra stones. Go through each color and see if you can upgrade any of the SSRs that you've plugged in to the max. This first page I already have done, and my UR requires way too many flow stones, so I'm going to save on to those. My fourth page has blue and yellow. For the blues, I have enough to get a level 9. So what I'm going to do is go through every blue to see which one's worth getting to level 9. This one gives me defense, and I could shoot for level 12 for the Vit, for the other blue. Now, because this one has int up top, I am going to shoot for the level 12. Perfect. Now my fourth page is complete, but checking my UR, I do have enough flow stones to get her to level 9. However, 9 will get me to the crit res. That's not that great. So let's check out my other URs to see if they would benefit from getting level 9. This one will give me defense and strength, which doesn't go with my class. So I'm just going to save for now. So now we have the first page complete, the fourth page complete. We're going to work on finishing the second and third page. On the second page, we have yellow and green. So let's take a look at that yellow. I definitely don't have enough stones to get that to level 9. So my yellows are complete for now. Now taking a look at the green, I have tons of stones, so I could definitely get some to level 12. And look at this, we have the critical multiplier bonus. We're gonna go all the way to 12. Next one, another critical multiplier bonus. Level 12. And last one, critical rate bonus. Level 12. Very nice. That second page is complete. Let's move on to the last page, green and red. So taking a look at the greens, we have enough to get 1 to 9. This one could go straight to M attack. We are going to do it right away. We have M attack up top, M attack down bottom. That's our next stat, level 9. Let's get it. Very nice. All right, so the greens are complete for now. We know this UR is done, but what's this symbol? So that symbol means that we can make a UR. However, as you've noticed, URs are not very friendly with being able to plug into your wheels. To make a good UR, you need to rebirth it. In order to rebirth it, you're gonna need a lot of talisman tickets. And I don't recommend that you guys rebirth anything until you watch my rebirth guide, which I will come out with in the future to show you guys the best URs that you should rebirth, because not all of them deserve your talisman. All right, you guys, that is it. DRAKITES and how to place them. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, you can shoot me a message on Discord or leave a comment below. I hope you guys learned some stuff. Leave the video a like, subscribe if you guys aren't already so you can stay tuned for my future guides. I appreciate you all. I hope you guys have a great night. Stay blessed, and I'll see you on the next one.